And now it's Christmas time. Oh, hello. I didn't know you were there. I'm Chris Smith, and this week I am going to be reviewing the hit play Slave Play, which I just saw on opening night in beautiful downtown Los Angeles at the Mark Taper Forum. And it was thrilling to be there that night because, as the little card that came with the program said, "Welcome! It's been 24 months since we last had a show at the Mark Taper Forum." You may remember back in 2020, What the Constitution Means to Me was playing there. And then, of course, the You Know What hit and shut everything down. Well, the season leading up to that, this show, Slave Play, had been on Broadway, and it caused quite a stir. Controversial. It really got people talking. And then, when it came time to announce the Tony nominations, it received 12 Tony nominations. But you might be saying to yourself, what is Slave Play? And why does the title make me uncomfortable? Not me, that's what you're saying. Well, maybe me too. Okay, now there might be some spoilers in this review. So if you're going to be seeing Slave Play anytime soon, feel free to stop the video right now, but click like and share and love and subscribe before you stop it. Okay, according to Wikipedia, which I know is terrible to cheat that way, but I've contributed money to Wikipedia, so I feel I'm allowed to use from them. It says Slave Play is a 3-act play by Jeremy O. Harris. I really wouldn't consider that 3 acts. I guess so, but the third one is really not a full act. It's very short. So it's by Jeremy O. Harris about race, sex, power, relations, trauma, and interracial relationships. And this is the spoiler part. Okay, close your ears if you don't want to hear. So it follows 3 interracial couples undergoing antebellum sexual performance therapy because the black partners no longer feel sexual attraction to their white partners. Now, I didn't really get that from all 3 of the couples. I felt like one of the couples was not really having that kind of a problem. Anyway, the title refers both to the history of slavery in the United States and to the sexual slavery role play. And so I didn't get a poster because there were no posters available. Here's what some of the artwork looked like when it played on Broadway. It's directed by Robert O'Hara, I should say. And as I said, Jeremy O. Harris is a great up-and-coming playwright. Here he is. He was there on opening night. And look at that beautiful neon sign behind him that says Slave Play. They did a speech before the show. And yes. Now, the only souvenir that I got besides this ticket was the little bracelet that you get when you show your vaccination card. And I must say, at the theaters, the vaccination process is getting much faster now. They just zip you in. It's becoming very routine now, and theaters are getting it down to a science. So that is wonderful. Now, so I thought the Scenic Design, this is a picture from the Broadway cast. When I first saw this picture, I said, look at the lighting, look at those colors, the stage setup. I didn't quite know what was happening. And I don't want, like I said, I hate to give anything away, but some of you aren't ever going to see Slave Play. So I can tell you that 3 couples are doing role play at this antebellum plantation type place, and they're doing sort of slave and master reenactments, which already will get the audience shifting uncomfortably in their seats. And the sessions are overseen by these two women who are running the whole thing. It's sort of like an experiment, and it's sort of like therapy. Now, everybody in this cast was excellent, and they had come from Broadway. Now, they did this show previously on Broadway before the pandemic, and then it closed. I think it closed before the pandemic, so it wasn't a show that shut down because of the pandemic. I'm almost certain of that. I'll have to check on that and let you know. But then when Broadway reopened in the fall of 20, whatever we just got through with, 2021, Slave Play reopened, and some of the cast members had changed. Well, these people, a lot of them came from that cast, but some of them stayed with the show and even were nice enough to come to Los Angeles. Now here they are. So the first scene is very sexual. It's these little vignettes with these three different couples, and I haven't seen people walk out so much from a show than in that first act. In a long time, I haven't seen people just get up and walk out of the theater. And I guess sex things make them uncomfortable. I guess discussing slavery makes people uncomfortable. And, you know, it was very sexual, and it was very shocking. And I sort of enjoyed these sexual scenes. Like, there's this one couple, this man, and Philip is his name. And what was his wife's name? Alana. And his problem was that she didn't see him as a black man. And she just saw him as Philip because she loved him. And that was an issue for him. And then there was this other couple, Kenesha and Jim. Jim was the guy who plays Jim was in the original Broadway production of Slave Play. Paul Alexander Nolan. He did it off Broadway, he did it on Broadway in 2019, and he did it at the Broadway remount in 2021. Kenesha is played by Antoinette Crow Legacy. She's part of the 2021 remount. And here they are in the scene where they are where they're sort of doing role play, where she's sort of a slave girl. And, you know, it does make you uncomfortable. The N-word is used. There's violence. There's whips. A lot of people stayed. Of course, it was opening night. But many people were getting up and leaving. And my thinking was, you haven't been to the theater in 2 years because there was a pandemic. And you went to all the trouble to come downtown to the Mark Taper Forum. It's not easy. There's a freeway to go on, or the subway, or however you got there. And you can't sit still for 2 hours and watch a play that this man worked very hard on. You know, he wrote it while he was in Yale, I believe he said. Forgive me if I got that wrong. Very smart man. You know, back in October, there was some controversy because he threatened to pull Slave Play from the Mark Taper Forum's roster because he didn't think that there was enough representation of female playwrights in its upcoming programming. But the Center Theater Group responded quickly and promised to have more opportunities for artists from underrepresented communities. And isn't that nice? But yes, so he was there, and it's very, very button pushing, but I liked that. Now, was it my favorite play ever? No. Um, Part of the second act is you have the role play thing, then it switches to like a group therapy thing with people just sitting in folding chairs. I didn't get the stage design. It's sort of in that picture, this was beautiful looking, but on the Mark Taper Forum stage there was astroturf, and then there was a wall of mirrors. And to me, it was really green and really ugly looking. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. And so I was a little disappointed that the stage design didn't look like and I think it had been a little reimagined for that theater. But but yeah, I'm sorry. Now, so it was nominated for a Tony for Best Play, Best Leading Actress in a Play, uh, Joaquina. Oh, I'm gonna mess up her name. Uh, I can't even. There. So, Kalukango? Best Featured Actor in a Play. I'm gonna mess up everybody's names because no one told me the pronunciation before I started this video, and I didn't realize it would be names. I should just say Best Play, Best Leading Actress in a Play, Featured Actor in a Play, Best Featured Actress in a Play. Really, basically, the whole cast got nominated. Best Direction of a Play, Robert O'Hara. Best Original Score, Lindsay Jones. Best Scenic Design, Best Costume, Best Lighting Design, Best Sound Design. It didn't win any award, and people were stunned that it didn't. And even that was a little controversial. Now, here's the program. Did I tell you that that's a cantaloupe? In the scene, Jim and Kanisha, he's trying to make her eat off the floor, and he tells her to start eating this watermelon, and she's like, "You mean that cantaloupe?" And he says, "That's a watermelon." She's like, "It's a cantaloupe." And it was very funny. But so here's the program. Here's the inside. Slave Play is going to be at the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles through March 13th, 2022. Here's the inside. Here's the cast. Everybody pause it and then look for your names. Here's everybody in the cast. I really liked the story of Philip and Alana. And the two therapy ladies are also involved in a lesbian romance. So you have interracial, you have queer representation. Some more cast members. Yes, and I was right. It was Yale. So it says Jeremy is a graduate of Yale's MFA playwriting program. So, yes. So if you get a chance, go see Slave Play while it's in Los Angeles. I don't believe that it's a touring production. I think it's one of those where it played on Broadway and then the cast was nice enough to come all the way to Los Angeles, which we don't get a lot of. And so I'm sure there could be a national tour that's coming. Keep your eyes out on the interwebs. But yes. go see Slave Play if you want. Decide for yourself, and you'll be talking about it after you get out. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.